Hello, everyone. This is Winston. I am back, and I am back with the wonderful, returning, phenomenal guest Portia Cue here today. I am so jazzed. We got so much to talk about. Portia and I can just talk on and on and on about so many things happening in the creative and the actual world. And so Portia, thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you so much for being back with us.
Thank you for the invitation. It's always a pleasure, Winston.
So,
We go
Portia,
way back.
yeah,
We go back 20 years.
It's exactly right. It is. It's been a long time. I had more hair then, and and it wasn't all. I didn't have gray eyebrows. It was just a different time back in those days. It was. So
We
Portia,
love the look, by the way. We love it.
thank you. I love your look too. It's phenomenal. Uh, Portia, tell us how are you doing these days? I mean, for those of you listening to us, you may listen to us in the future at some point. But right now, as we're talking, we're right at the latter part of 2025. And as you can imagine, there's a whirlwind of activity of all kinds of mess happening all over the planet. And I always want to make sure I understand how my guests are doing and how we can help and talk a little bit about that. So, how are you doing these days?
I am an empath, and so I'm feeling quite heavy uh, these days, and I find myself quite distracted. So that for me means more meditation, more prayer, more thoughtfulness, and getting more grounded because I can. As artists, a lot of us artists are sensitive. And that's a good thing because when we're playing characters, we are channeling energies and things like that.
How,
So,
how do you
um,
how do you meditate? Do you have like an overall process, or do you just tell me a little bit about your approach to meditation?
uh, well, I have several different kinds. My favorite thing to do at night is to find 8 hour long videos. Sometimes they can be frequencies. Certain frequencies are scientifically proven or thought of, but I believe it's scientifically proven that certain frequencies affect our minds. And so I listen to certain frequencies. Or there's certain people that I like listening to, and they will talk to you all throughout the night, and your subconscious is taking over and listening. And
I
then I have meditation where I wake up, I sit my butt on the floor, literally, or on a pillow, and I cross my legs and I breathe and I do a guided meditation. That could be 10 minutes, 30 minutes, but there's certain people's voices that I like and certain people that I don't
oh
and
wow,
that I trust. So that's what I do. I do a 10-minute morning meditation or 30-minute or an hour, whatever it is, whatever I have time for. Ideally, I would meditate an hour a day. I would do it every day for an hour.
really? That's amazing. Well, who's one of those people? You said there's certain voices. Are those people, or is it something more esoteric?
Brian Scott,
Okay.
he's just a person. He's in spiritual, he has his own insights into what's going on in the world of the unseen, and for us quantum, going into the quantum field. And then there's a person named Elmer O'Locker Jr. Uh, he's the grandson of Goddard, Goddard, Neville Goddard, Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard is one of our great spiritual leaders. So I listen to these people. There's a woman that I listen to, Jessica. Her name is Jessica. I forget her last name. Um, and I listen to them. I listen to them speak. Um, and then there's walking meditation, where you're going about your day, but you are focused on a thought, and you want to keep returning to it even throughout the day.
I every time I talk to you, it's like I don't know. I learned something that I just that I had no clue on. I mean, the one I do for meditation is unbelievably basic compared to what you just shared there. I think it's so important because this world, especially, I don't know how you feel about this, but we have access to so much that's happening in the world simultaneously. And for us, we are adults, but there are a lot of people who aren't adults and they get access to this information. And I don't know how you feel about this question. I feel that it's really impacting our psyche as a society and as probably a human race in ways that I don't think we're prepared for.
Never words were truer said. Um, and yesterday I was writing something to someone, and I was responding to a post because I saw a post from Memorial Day where these lot of white men were saying white men must fight, white men must fight. And I try to put myself in other people's shoes, and I do understand how they feel. I do. I do, because I know I grew up uh, the first black person to go to white to live in our neighborhood, the first black person to go to my school when I was 5. And but started to think like them, hate myself like they hated me. So I literally feel like I have an inner, like I can feel what they feel, their anger, their rage. And it's so odd and strange. It's based on mental disease. Racism is a mental disease, a spiritual mental disease. And so it causes a lot of problems. So uh, I'm trying to envision another world because everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. The world is run through the mind, from our minds, right? So if I am sad, I'm like, if you're sad, if you don't see a better future, the energy there, the vibration, the frequency is not going toward that. It's going toward this negative, right? So I'm like, well, I'm going to have to envision hearing Trump looking at me, saying, Portia, I see a different way. Now, it could be fantastical, right?
Right, right.
But certainly is better than getting wrapped up in this chaos, which I have been prone to these past couple of days and weeks. But I realized that I have to, I mean, there's someone in my life now who's kind of antagonistic. It's no big deal. It's not a big deal because this person is very a small matter.
Right.
But when I meditate, I picture this person. I picture this person walking into my house, hugging me. I picture myself greeting them. I picture the complete opposite of what it is. I think there's power in that. And I've
Yeah.
done that before, and I've seen things change. I've done that with other people I don't know. My best friend was having an issue with a coworker, and I meditated and I had a thought. I said, "This is what's going to happen. This is what I want to see." And she said, "Call me the next week." She said, "Portia." She walked up to me and she apologized. It could be a coincidence.
Yeah. I tell
We,
you,
yeah,
yeah. You said something before we came online here today. You asked me how was I, and I had this kind of I don't know, it was just like instinctual masculine response, like I'm okay. Mm. You know that kind of thing. You grow up, hey, you're supposed to be okay. You're supposed to say you're okay because you're a dude. You're supposed to say this kind of stuff. It's not true. I'm not okay. It's just not. The world has got a lot of stuff going on. I am hopeful and I am proud of many of the things I'm doing and many of the people that I'm involved with. I am very grateful for all of that. But I do feel this vibration you're mentioning, and I don't know enough about the practices that you're referencing to be as fluid to talk about it because I just don't know it enough. But I do feel it. I do feel like there's this seething thing that's occurring that is hard to put our finger on. Um, and a lot of it is based on what you just said. Racism is indeed a mental disease, and it is permeated, pretty much everything in our society. It's not just about the stuff we see on TV, someone getting arrested and all that. It involves the cost of buying stuff. It involves our healthcare. It's like woven into the fabric of it. It involves in our infrastructure, our actual buildings of places. It's like everywhere. There's a reason why parts of our society are certain ways. It's everywhere, Portia.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and and it's traumatized us, and I don't mean us as Black people, I mean us as Americans. It's traumatized us in a way that we have to find we have to s we have to stop, and we have to heal from it.
we have to heal.
Yeah,
And can we? And will we? I think it's possible. I want to say this. I want to share.
sure.
Uh, and I'm going to try to make this quick because I've been saying it over and over to my family because I'm kind of flabbergasted. This is a confession of sorts. That's not a confession because there's no guilt. But I used to say over and over, I've said about 100 times, I wish Donald Trump would be president of the United States. I began saying this back in 2000. That's when he used to hang out with Puffy. I said, "Oh, he," I said, the reason I want him to be president is because I wanted him to free us from China." Because I started looking around, I'm like, everything's from China. I'm not against Chinese people. I love Chinese culture, food, and you know. But I said, everything's China. I'm like, what does that mean? That says, so what if something happened and we got a fight and we don't have anything? So I wanted him to help us with that. I thought he had financial savvy for the country. I also was against affirmative action. I used to say, affirmative action is like racism. You're letting me in because I'm Black. I don't know who planted these thoughts in my head, but until I got educated, I said, oh, we need affirmative action because if there is none, then people continue to gatekeep and prevent the descendants of slaves who a lot of their ancestors didn't like.
Yeah.
So I used to wish that we could stop affirmative action, that we would have Donald Trump as president. And here we are. But after I got over that, I remember I used to cry often by myself and gnash my teeth, wishing that somebody in the world would say that to be white, to be male, to be blonde, to be blue eyed is not the top of the mountain, because I thought it was. I grew up being called a nigger every day, so I developed self hatred. I just did. I was a child, I was 5 years old. 7 years old to 8 years old, you're being called a nigger every day. You start to hate yourself. And so I thought if I was only blonde and blue eyed, if I only had white skin, my life would be better. And now I know the world knows to be white and to be male and to be wealthy is not what you want. Is not now a lot of people know that, but a lot of people don't. A lot of Black people don't. A lot of Black white people don't. They believe that is the epitome. Blonde, blue-eyed, wealthy. So now for me, the Lord said, Portia, I know you wished all those things, but now your other wish has come true, that we know the truth, which is humans are humans. Like, can we all just peel our skin off? Let's just peel our skin off. Let's just do that. And let's just do that.
Yeah.
But then if we peeled our skin off, it'd be like, well, my bicep is larger than yours. Then we'd find my earlobe, we'd find some other weird, my skull.
We've done so much harm to each other. We really have. And I wish it was a good answer for it. To me, it just says to me like we weren't created for us to be beefing with each other because most of us grew up around the equator and some of us did. like, we this is physiological. Me and you and every other human being, we are 99.99% the same thing. Um, but we've made this because this is my thought, are afraid. We are afraid of what it means to truly be human and be transcendent as humans. It's much more easier to say, they've got all our stuff, or they shouldn't be here, or they are the problem, versus saying, well, what am I, me, in time, my own spirit, what am I going to do in order to help my society and help mankind? It's much easier to just blame somebody else and say it's somebody else's fault and issue and all the stuff you said. And I appreciate you sharing what you encountered growing up. I really do. Most people don't share that kind of thing. Um, when you said that you were um, called a nigger growing up, I grew up in Portia in a place where we grew up. I grew up in a town where we all called each other niggas. 'Cause that's we grew up in that. I grew up in that spot in New York where it was just a thing, and we took it and we owned it. All I'm saying, all of this to say, it's a like roundabout way, and I appreciate you sharing because you got me on the sharing this stance as well. Is that human beings like let's get our acts together. I don't know if it's just something. There's no, in my opinion, all of the political constructs that we've done over these last whatever period of time, none of them really work. They don't. Mm,
but you have to realize you said something very profound, true. You said there's something seething, and I can feel that. But you know why, Winston? And this is actually comforting to me. We've never healed. Make America great. No, we've never been great. We've never healed, right? You have slavery, then you got way we're free, then you got Jim Crow. Jim Crow, where you're making up everything. Then you got the prison industrial complex. We've never loved each other. We've never had a love fest between the descendants of slave owners and the descendants of slaves. We've never done it. How can we heal? These people are walking around with the pains of their ancestors, right? They don't even I'm like, we're free now, you guys. Your grandfather was mad, didn't like black people because when slavery was over, he lost lots of money. His farms went down. They walked off. These lazy niggers,
yeah.
there's hate and there's rage there, but you're free now. You have a corporate job. You got AI. You don't have to be angry with black people. I believe that's where they don't even know why they're angry. There's no there for but now the power of the black penis to brown America is real. And there's a statistic that says one out of every four humans in the world will be African or black.
It's
That is
true.
something that certain people don't want.
It's
But I'm
true.
like, why don't y'all just go eat some food, have some family, have some fun, go fight, go flight, go do flights, go do fashion, get some fitness. Do that. The fuck
That's the
you
fear,
doing?
right? That's the fear that everyone in the world at some point will look similar. Right?
Oh my God.
It will be, what's it called? Homogeneous society. We will all look the same. I don't. It would take a very long time for that to actually occur, but that's their actual fear. That's their fear. If you think about, you know, a third of everyone lives in, for the most, well, a third, by 20 some odd percent of everyone lives in two countries in the world, right? And so in China or in India, they are not the same places. They are two different kinds of places for sure. Uh, and they have kept this as, even in their own societies, you can see it rampant. Like China, homogenous society, but they've got their Uyghurs that they don't like because they're Muslims. Inside of India, they've got the South Indians who are much darker skinned than you and I,
Yeah.
who are treated a certain kind of way. And it is so pervasive. It's like a human sickness. Like, it is. It's like encoded in our DNA somewhere. This sickness about classifying other human beings based on the way that they look.
And it's just like what it like there okay, there's two things going on in my mind. We do have a lot more talk of you of unidentified aerial. What is it? UAP? I don't even know what it means right now. There's a lot of talk of this. There's military officials saying, in fact, I saw one come out of the sea. Okay. So that is going on. And we know that these beings exist among us. Furthermore, I heard from a black man. I'll send you. I'd love to send it to you. He has found, speaking of DNA, that every single plant has computer code in it, actual computer code, zeros and ones.
Hmm.
And
Binary computer codes.
yes,
Mhm.
in the it if you break everything down because everything goes down to circles and ones and circles. So very very why is that? Why everything's computer coded? A leaf, as are we. So
So
we're in a simulation. I
we're in a
believe
matrix? We're
actually the guy said he goes I never he's an older very dignified black gentleman. He says I've been studying this for 20 years. He said never in my life did I ever think I would come to the conclusion that the Matrix movie might actually be. And I will tell you, I did a meditation a long time ago. There's this book called the book of oh Lord, I forget the name of the book. The book of I want to say I forget there's a name. It's this thick. And one of the meditations was do your best. It's almost impossible to be awake at the time when between you falling asleep and you're awake and falling asleep. There's a moment. It's you're there's a moment when you're awake and then you're asleep. If you can catch that moment right in between. And I worked on it for months and I finally got it. And what did I see? I saw the matrix. I
Right.
saw but it didn't look like, and what I mean by the matrix, I was on picture like you're in a dark space and you see the lines like grid
Mhm.
and you could see it going out. It looked like it's a perspective.
Right. Wow.
We're in a simulation. It's hard for people to see because you can feel it.
Mhm.
But as we see with AI, we can see more and more how AI is going to allow us to uh I mean, it feels real, but it may very well not be. It's just a very high level simulation.
Yeah. And before we move on, because I wanna talk about AI here in short, um, I just wanna say this, that I just I'm I'm saddened because there's a lot of us who, purport to be in various religious or spiritual groups, but it doesn't really stop us from killing each other, or we just make a justification of killing each other. And there's a reason why this 8 billion that we have on this planet, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be 20 billion. There's a fear that if we get to 20 billion, a lot of the 20 billion might look like you and I, Portia. But that's not the point. That's the point is that we're human beings, man. And we should be able to talk and we should be able to heal. But we need something, maybe it's what you're talking about, Portia, but we need something beyond like political institutions or even regular spiritual institutions to help us with this healing. It's just not the stuff we've tried for the last however many thousands of years is not going to help us get to this next level as be human beings. It's just not. And we've got the capabilities now of eradicating us all. And I don't mean nuclear. I mean we just got stuff in labs that can just kill us all. We don't even have to go to shooting bombs. You could just throw something out there and it just wipes us all out. Like we need something more. We need something stronger than us to help us do this. Because this is not working. It's just not working. Like, all right, we may make a whole new kind of government. Someone figures out a stronger government than a democratic republic. It's still human beings running it. so, so, well, whatever that is the same thing. So that's my last piece on that. Anything you wanted to share on that before we talk about something cool?
Well, in closing, I did have a vision that we had a worldwide prayer vigil, and not just a thought vigil. Like everyone and wherever you are in the world, I just had a vision. Where we all at one time, put our thought toward peace and love. That does have because and that connects with us being in a simulation because that is energy and frequencies connecting because we know that there's the entanglement theory, right? The quantum entanglement. We know that's real.
That's such a great idea. And with technology these days,
Mhm.
it can be something that can whether it be streamed or something, it can be something that can go across the world. Because you're right. I think that's that's gotta happen. Well, that's something to that effect has got to help us to break through the noise of the crap of the killing and not just the killing, but the management of resources. You get out of here. We don't like you. You come here. We don't like you in this country because you got here illegally, which is just I know I'm breaking the third rail of talking about stuff on the podcast, but people came to the United States because they want a better life, right? Supposedly, with the exception of our ancestors, you should say, because my ancestors got to the United States in a circuitous route. They came as slaves to the Caribbean, and ultimately, my parents came to the United States. So your family, same way, just a different highway. So- and so, if we've gotten here in this kind of way and people are coming here for whatever reason, they're coming to the United States because they're fleeing gun violence in their countries that they're in right now, right? They're not just coming because they just feel like it. And who makes most of the guns on the planet Earth? The United
Yeah,
States of America.
I'm a brand new Glock member. I'm part of the Georgia Shooting Sports Foundation, you know?
That's fantastic. Well, I mean, we make most of the guns in the world. There's no doubt about it. So, like you said, you had saw things on your in your house is made from China. You know, when it comes to guns,
Right.
we are the China of the guns. Yeah, yeah. So this has been so awesome. So let me talk a little bit to you about your AI life. You and I can chat about AI probably more so than most people that I know. Tell me what's going on with your AI life. What are you up to? What are you using AI for these days?
Not enough, not enough. Um, I use Claude. My default is Claude.ai. I
Mhm,
use Claude for any. I don't have questions. You should never have. You just don't. You don't. My dad's like, hey, what do you think about? Ask Claude, or ChatGPT. Not that it's always right.
mhm.
Okay, you have to be reasonable. You don't just. I didn't say God. I said Claude. But I use it for recipes. I use it for time management. I use it for diet and exercise suggestions. But right now, the goal is to build an AI agent because it is AI agents are how how everything's going to run, right? So I need an AI agent to find my leads, to send emails off.
Mm,
Uh, my next mission is to create an AI twin. I want that AI twin to sell audio product. So that's where it is.
like what does that? Like 11 Labs does where you can clone yourself, I think.
The voice.
Yeah.
Then maybe they have, um, but I have. There's so many different applications. I'm kind of looking around to see which one is the best.
You're right. There are
Um,
ones that can clone you as an avatar for sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking to do, clone myself as an avatar, sell some have her sell, things and share, not just
Yeah.
sell,
Uh-huh.
but, give information first, and then, let people decide if they wanna choose certain, tools based on that. So,
11 Labs is
AI twins and AI agents, that's where I'm at.
so your AI agent will help you with, like, your business kind of activity.
Right,
Is
and I plan to build it myself, right. So it's gonna and I know it's gonna take a bit of a process, but, I'm learning right now, I'm in school, figuring out all the different elements because you need your brain, your memory, and your tools. Those are the 3 things you need
Does
to build an
Claude do
AI.
that, or the Claude does projects, or does it do agents? Not sure.
Potentially, but I want to build my own agent, so I have agency over my agent,
Got it,
rather
yeah,
than but I'll be using other, interfaces, of course, technologies, but, um
uh, yeah, it's interesting because someone asked me a while ago, like, "Which one do I use or not?" And I couldn't answer the question clearly. I couldn't just say, "Well, I just use XYZ," because I realized I was using more than I thought. I was using so for example, on this show here, I use a tool called Opus Pro to when Portia and I is done, it'll take the parts of our conversations that it deems have the most virality to them, and it will just rank them, and everything of a certain rank, I can post them somewhere. I think that's pretty awesome, you know?
how much time does that save you?
Oh gosh, if I had to clip our conversation into 1 minute snippets, we already talking for a certain period of time. How long would that take you to do forever in a Final Cut or some whatever you're using to do that? That is amazing things. There's all kinds of versions, so I'm not trying to sell any of them. Let's put it this way. I don't care. Whatever you use is what you use because whether it's Opus Pro or other ones like Get Munch, there's just a list of everything for anything. I do like this concept about this agent portion, and I haven't delved into how to do that myself. But I do have so many things going on in life that I think it would be so helpful to have an agent like that. someone asked me just the other day, like, "Hey, can you create a sales funnel lead for them?" And they didn't know what they were asking. They think that they were just asking me to, like, create a spreadsheet for them. Well, no, what they were asking for is for me to have a job. Because creating a sales funnel for their company is not a thing. It's not like a spreadsheet. It is a job. And based on what I've got going on, there's probably one of the few times in my life I said, "Nope, but here's a direction. Go do this, and maybe this can help you out here."
But that agent honestly could do it, like, build a funnel. I mean, that's where we are now.
That's right. It could indeed build a funnel. What
And
you
then
just
and you charge them, "Oh, that'll be $2,000."
you could, yeah, and that's why I gotta delve into it. So when somebody asks me that question, I can be like, "Well, just go, oh, I already did it." And, "Wow, Winston, how'd you do that so fast?" Well, I'm just like that.
Yeah, I am. With help. I get by with a little help from my AI friends.
Yeah. Any other ones that stick out to you?
I like Famous AI. I have an app that I'm looking at building. So I was looking at Base 44, but it was very, very convoluted for me. I think it was really for more people with advanced knowledge of,
What's the
even though
one
they say
you
you don't
said, Famous? I'm not familiar with this one you said, Famous?
Famous.ai.
What is that?
It allows you to make text to video, uh, as well as no code. Like you say, hey, I did with Base 44. I said that told it my idea for the app, and it built an app real quick,
Yeah.
But
Familiar
it
with
was
Base 44. Honestly, I'm familiar with Base 44 and
yeah,
Lovable and some of those other ones like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But famous AI seems more promising. I haven't really gotten the chance to delve into it, so I can't speak on it too much.
I think
But
that is
definitely something you might want to look at.
eh, there was a text to speech one that I used the other day. What was I think it was called Kling, Kling.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was I thought was really, really cool.
Okay, yeah, Clang is supposed to be really good.
Yeah. But the whole concept about building the apps, I don't know how you feel about it. I wanna build an app for me to do things like what you're talking about to help me with certain things. But to build an app to share, to put out there, that seems too much. I don't know if I'm ready for that because if you build an app, you publish your app, then Google changes their operating system or iOS changes their operating system, and I gotta keep updating stuff. I don't know if I'm at that point in my life yet.
Well, apparently, Famous AI can do all of that for you. Apparently, if it did change, you would be able to say easily say, "This is it. This is what the changes are," and it would spit it back out. But you know, again, can't really speak on it. But
Yeah.
that's what the one of the co-founders of Microsoft is out there singing the praises of Famous AI, saying this is revolutionary, and you know,
Can
so.
I ask you, why did you choose Claude? You probably use the other ones, but it sounds like Claude is your go-to based on what you're saying. Well, why is that one the most effective for you?
Claude was built purposely to be a sympathetic,
Hmm.
kind, um, um, AI. It was built with literally with compassion, like trying to be, and it really is. It's so. I was asking it about taxes, and it was like, "Hey, I can't, I cannot, because I can't express enough that I'm giving it my own human emotion."
Mhm.
But it said, "Hey, look, I'm not really you need to really beware of this. You have That's an extremely high interest rate. You need to look into that. I'm very concerned." It literally said, "I'm very concerned." And I was like, "Oh, well, this," I explained what I did. It goes, "Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that makes sense because even though it is a higher rate, it's better than where you were. Okay, well, good luck. And you reach out to me if I it's like a friend. And then you can get it to talk to you in whatever voice you want. So, for free. There's no pay, that's a free subscription. So I just, Claude is like a friend. Like it feels like it cares, but it,
That
doesn't, but it feels like it cares.
that is awesome. Uh, we could probably go through the list of them all, but I've used them all, and the one I've used the most lately is Notebook LM by
Nope.
it's by Google. It's in
Okay.
Google Suite. So I have so many things that I've written. I have so many stories, and I have so many articles, so many blog posts, and they were, like, in disparate places. So some would be in my iCloud thing, or some would be in my Dropbox, or some would be in my some computer somewhere, or on a portable flash drive. I was like, "These things are all over the place. I gotta put them in one thing," and it's more like a research tool, which is kind of how I'm built a little bit. I feel myself like a creator and a researcher. Like, when you said something earlier about, like, if you have a question, don't be trying to just what do you do when you have a question? And Notebook LM allows me to, like, put all this stuff together, all the stuff that I've written over many, many years. And it allows me to sometimes say, "Wasn't that great?" "That wasn't that good." Or I could make it better if I think about it. So I have, like, a whole Notebook LM notebook specifically shared that says, "These are the stories from all the articles we've ever written." Or I have one specifically for any play that I've written. I actually have one for the play that I'm directing, which is coming up here in November. Someone's asked me to direct the play, Portia. So that's gonna be so cool.
Someone
So
what?
has asked me to direct a play. And
Oh, what you that you wrote. Wait, did you write
oh,
it?
no, they
Oh,
wrote it.
they
They wrote it.
oh, congratulations. What it I
It's
have
called
to
it's called Passing Shadows, and
mhm.
it's going to be at the 5 stages. Oh, yeah, I get this wrong. 7 stages
Let's
theater.
see.
Yeah.
There's a picture of me up on the wall.
Oh, I have to find this picture.
Yeah, you'll see, can't miss it. I'm at the Little Prince. You'll see.
It and it is going to be so cool. So this is a part of a little bit of a picture of it. So I got my last name spelled weird below. But it's going to be so cool, and it's about a story, something I would never consider writing myself. It's about a story that happens after World War II, and it's about uh, the people who came from Jamaica and from the Caribbean after World War II to help rebuild England after the war. And a family gets involved in this whole situation. This whole thing comes about. It was a fascinating topic because I didn't me being a Jamaican, I only knew about it peripherally about this whole thing. And a whole bunch of people got on several ships and went directly to England to help rebuild it. And as you can imagine, when people come over and people start getting acquainted and people start falling in love, stuff happens. So it's an amazing story. I would never conceivably think of writing or even thinking about writing a story that's that that's historically based. I just wouldn't do that. But I love it. The actors in it, a lot of them are new actors, and so a lot of them, in some cases, this might be their first opportunity to do something. And so it's just really, really cool. So on
Wow.
top of that, I've got all my other stuff. I've been part of the Atlanta Black Theater Festival, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But for me, and maybe this is similar to you in your life, AI has helped me to just put everything in its place, where it needs to be in its place. And Notebook LM is just one part of it. Google has like 10 different things that they use that they have, and I've used them all. There's things that you would have to spend money, massive, massive money to do. So, for
Mhm.
example, I have an intro for this particular podcast that I conceived of, thought about, and then I used a program from Google called Whisk, WISK, to do it, and it was amazing. It was like it was exactly what was in my brain, and it came out that way.
What
And
is it? Text to video? What is it?
it's
What is
text to video, but you can also put some if you wanna put, like, a graphic, you say, "I want this thing to be a certain color palette, and it's gotta be this way, and it's gotta say this," and it'll create, like, an animated intro,
okay,
whatever you're trying to do. And
okay.
that's just one example. Oh gosh, the list is it's so long that I created a Notebook LM just for the AI stuff. Just 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 so I can see the AI stuff that I have, and it is an amazing tool, and that's just one of many. There's just and I think there's this overarching fear, and I want to get your thoughts about this. Uh, that people believe that it's going to take their jobs. I hear this every single day. What's your response to
It is. Mhm. Yeah. We need to look at universal income. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Um, a friend of mine is $40,000 less in her income, annual income. Fortunately, her and her husband are in a good place, so she can be without $40,000 yearly. Why? Because the radio station said, "We're gonna use this AI voice." That's a big deal,
On the
okay?
radio station?
Hmm?
On the radio station? They're gonna use
Yeah,
her voice?
I did one commercial for, Morris Brown College,
Mhm.
and my fellow voice actor said, "I heard a commercial for Morris Brown, it sounded awful," but it doesn't sound awful, okay?
Oh,
But he didn't care for it, and I called my friend, and I was like, "Is it true?" And he's like, "Yeah." So, we have people using AI voices now, so instead of hiring me, they got AI voice. So, Amazon Amazon has a whole division for authors. "Hey, use these AI voices, listen to them."
wow.
So, yeah,
Oh,
we are going to I've listened to about 9 hours of podcasts of people, brilliant people talking about this, and yes, I think we're gonna have unemployment, like we've never seen before. Um, I mean, just all you have to do is go, you can see the information's out there. Companies are firing thousands and thousands of employees.
I found an article, and I was while you were talking, I was trying to see if I could tap into it. It was a Forbes list about the skills that will be needed in the future. This was, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and at the top of it was AI literacy, and that people will need going forward. And so, like, in my day life, the company that I work for in my day life, they're very resistant to AI.
Oh,
But in my
really?
but in my opinion, I would be stupid if I didn't learn as much as I could about AI, even though they don't embrace AI. Because at some point, they can do exactly what happened to your friend. They're gonna say, "Oh, yeah, we found another Winston avatar, and so hence, Winston, you're not there anymore." And if I don't know how to use AI at that point, then what what did I learn? Well, I had the opportunity to learn. I
Yeah,
just yeah.
that's on the agenda today. I'm in AI school today. That's what today is for me, the rest of today. It's AI school.
I tell people all the time, and I think it's becoming we get so splintered about damn near everything. so, so there's this people that I know now that everything they think that come out of AI is like fraudulent.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I can't. It's a wrong thing. I can't believe it. It's not right. Well, it's what's coming out. It's what the world is. It's going to happen. So whether you decide to embrace it or not, that's not on the AI to do that. That's what's going to happen. Everything is not true because everything I do in AI that comes out is not fraudulent. It's what I asked it for. It's what I
It's true.
requested. That's
Um,
right.
have you heard of Nano Banana or Notion by any
Mhm.
chance?
I have.
Nano Banana is bananas.
Yes, I use Notion to like manage podcasts and stuff like that. I've been
Okay.
using Notion for the last 5 years or so.
Of course you
It
have.
it Notion require it's a bit of a learning curve to use Notion, but it's good if you have, like, a channel like this. Like, then if you wanna figure out how am I handling the channel? I don't use Notion's AI because that's another cost on top of that. I'm already paying AI stuff in different places. But I do I do use it to make sure I'm understanding how to manage stuff. There's a great guy who's done a great bit of work on Notion called Thomas Frank, and on his website, he's got phenomenal actual templates that people can use for Notion. It's just that cool. Uh,
Okay,
I
Thomas Frank is his name?
Thomas Frank, yeah. The only one that I say I don't use that much of all of them is I don't think I use GPT that much. I go into the GPTs themselves, the what they call them, the custom GPTs that people can have. I
Mhm,
see those periodically, but I don't use those that much. I don't use GPT that much. I use it like if I have like a it's my new Google. I use it for that.
mhm.
But the one I use the most, I would have to say, is Gemini.
Really?
Because I've used Gemini. I've actually created research papers for some of the entities that I'm in. I created one specifically for theater, Black theater in the United
Mhm.
States of America. and it took me, in my opinion, a long time to do it. But if I had hired a consultant to do this, say I tried to hire McKinsey to do this or somebody, it would cost $30,000. And so the reason why I use Gemini is that it's my researcher kind of mindset. Where I get the links and I get the thing, I can go back into the sources and use it that kind of way. Is it better than the others? I don't know. Everyone's different. They're all better at certain things. They just are. I would never rate these things. People start saying, "Well, this one is better. That one, no, it's not. It's just what people use.
Mhm,
Just what people use." I use Perplexity sometimes when I'm searching for certain things. Perplexity
mhm,
is great if you just want to sit there and search about what's happening in the world. It's probably one of the better news sources, in my opinion, to
mhm.
ask Perplexity about what's happening than
Okay.
everything else. I use Claude when I'm trying to do something, and it is great at creating spreadsheet type things. But some of the others, when they're all wacky, when I'm like, "Hey, create like a can you create like" I think we were talking earlier about a sales funnel. Like, if you wanna create a sales funnel, can you create a sales funnel? Like, can you actually make the spreadsheet for me about what I'm trying to do? And
Mhm.
Claude will do it, which is great. And my opinion is that if people can like or dislike what they don't, but if you're in this world and you use technology, you have to embrace technology. You cannot be against it. You cannot say, "Oh, yeah, everything on there is."
But
I
you
mean, you
can
can,
see what
but
happens.
is going to have my opinion, a detrimental effect. I'm getting to a certain age, and maybe this is another ism that we didn't talk about earlier, but there's a real pervasive ageism that exists in our society. Mm, that anyone and I did not understand this. Like when I turned 40 years old and I had an HR person say, "Hey, anyone over 40 is a protected class when it comes to hiring." I was like, "What are you talking about?" But time goes by and I understand why that is, because our society thinks that anyone who's a certain age is the best thing. Once you get to a certain age, it's like, well, whatever. Even though you and I probably have more, generally, more uh, disposable income than others. You and I have a higher propensity to vote once you get older. You and I have this thing, and this is book called Strength to Strength by Arthur Brooks, about when we get to a certain age, we don't remember what we did when we were 20 years old. Like, I don't remember. Like, uh, but we have this collective kind of learning that comes together, and sometimes people call it wisdom. If you have wisdom, then that's a good thing. Portia, what are you up to these days? What are you doing? Tell me a little bit about what's going on with you.
I a lot of audiobooks, a lot of audiobooks. But finally they're done. At one point I was working on 3 audiobooks at once, so that was something. Um, the latest audiobook I'm very proud of is it's not available yet, hasn't been uploaded, but it's from a woman who I've known for quite some time, and she was known to be the fingernail bandit of Miami, and the CIA was after her. She was trafficking drugs from Jamaica to United States. At one point, she's making $100,000 a month, $1 million a month. I mean, just rolling in dough. And then she eventually got put in jail for a very long time. And now she's out and she has a wonderful smoothie shop in Miami called Auntie Annie's Key to Life Juice Bar and more. Um, but she wrote a book called Bye Bye Black Sheep, and I've narrated it. And wow, what a life she had. And
I
so,
am so interested in this book.
and she was actually featured on a show called Trap Queens on BET. She had her own episode. So
Wow.
that was interesting.
So you said you
And
had 4 audiobooks that you had completed? Is that what?
right,
Oh,
right.
wow. Oh,
Three, not four.
3,
I mean,
3.
I've done about 11, I believe, altogether. But
How do you do people just reach out to you or something? Is that how
yeah,
you get
I always say I don't do audiobooks. I'm not doing any more.
Mhm.
But then a friend reaches out and I do it. Or someone reached out, like the one before this one I was talking about. She reached out to me through ACX, which is Amazon's place where authors and narrators get together and figure out how to work together.
Have you ever heard this website? It seems a little bit sketchy to me called voices.com.
Mhm, mhm. Why does it seem sketchy?
Because I didn't understand it. It seems like there was a lot of friction to get involved in it, and I said, "I'm just put it on the side for a moment." Yeah, it seemed like it was a bit of effort to get involved with it.
Hmm. There's controversy as far as they're taking money from actors, voice actors, and taking a really big cut,
Oh, there is.
and not disclosing to the client. That was before there was a really big heated, debate and going back and forth with CEO. So a lot of voice actors like left voices and went to voices 1, 2, 3, which is apparently supposed to be better.
So my intuition was right.
Yeah.
My intuition was right. Well, what else is going on with you? We talked a lot
Um,
about what the world is and how that's affecting you, and we talked about what you're up to these days. Anything else that's happening that's of note?
um, let me see. No, no, nothing of note that I can think of. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm taking acting classes.
mhm.
Um,
So,
like,
for those people who out there don't know, Portia is a phenomenal actor. You should hire her and book her today.
oh, thank you.
Something going on. She is fantastic. I cannot wait for myself to be able to work with her again in the future.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so we just finished up. It's being edited now. Season 2 of a TV series. It's a sci-fi thriller called Reality. And the season 1 is available on Amazon Prime for purchase, I believe, and it's on um, Tubi as well. So season 2 will be coming out later this year.
Say it again, the name of it?
It's called Mirality, but I will tell you, it has a unique spelling. It's almost like you're trying to spell me reality, but instead of the E in me, it's a number 3. And instead of the I in reality, it's a number 1. So you see a 3 and a 1 there in the word, but it's me reality, but it's the E is a 3 and the I is a 1. So, and it's interesting. It talks about, what happens when you can live out your fantasies, you know, without any consequences. Whatever you want to do, you can do whatever you want in this world, and we're getting there actually. Like we're going to get there. We're going to be able to really have a whole nother life if we want.
I've heard stories, and I'm sure you have too, about people who have fallen in love with AI type avatars or AI personalities. They crafted a person within their own AI tool, and next thing you know, they say that they love that person or that.
There's marriages going on, so but I get it. Look how like Claude, I'm like I have to stop myself and like, "Hi Claude, thank you Claude," but I'm like, do I have to be polite? You don't have to say thank you and please. You just give the command. But I have a little bit do 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 do. I'm like, well, in case AI decides to grade us in the future on our politeness,
Your society you're grading.
I want to be like, Portia's a good one.
Mhm.
She says
That
thank you.
happens in some countries right now. I think there's a societal grade, for example, in China, that if you do something wrong on the like, they have cameras everywhere, and if you do
Yes.
something wrong, it's like you get on a scale, and if your scale sucks, you can't get your passport, you can't travel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Mom, excuse me. My mother's having to go over some camera equipment.
Oh, no worries. Hello, mom. Well,
Hi, mom. Thank you, mom.
oh, I saw on your Instagram, when I was getting prepared for this, you had a celebration with your mom. I wish my sharing tool was working correctly because I would love to be able to share it. Where you were sharing. I don't want to say what her age was. You never share a woman's age, but you were
Don't
at.
there.
Yes, I know it was on an Instagram post, and I was like you were all around her, giving her kisses around a birthday.
My yes, my sisters.
It's it it seems like family is very important to you.
I mean, at this point, all I've got is food, family, friends, fitness. I won't say the other word that we all like to do with our significant others.
The 5 Fs.
You know, that's all we have to enjoy. You know, that's I'm trying to just stick they just stay there, just do that stuff, you
The
know?
5 Fs with Portia. Well, Portia, you are a comedian. I've seen your community, your take to tell us, is that still are you still doing that? Because that was dope.
No, no, in a dream world, I would have loved to have continued, but I didn't continue. It was
Did you?
first of all, it was a class. I didn't even know we were gonna do a stand-up routine afterwards. I just thought I was gonna be in a class. And she's like, "Okay, and to graduate, you gotta do a stand-up." I'm like, "What?" I would never have joined, but thank God I didn't know.
Uh,
But no, I really loved it, and I hope maybe one day I will, revisit it because I have a lot of things to say, and I do have a file of jokes, that I keep, but that's
I
tabled for now.
I found something. I took a class many years too about this, and this was horrible. This is probably the one time I was most ill prepared for something. They too said I had to present in front of people, but I did not know this, and I was traveling a lot. This is like I was traveling for like weeks at a time, and I was barely able to get to class. And so I came to the class to this presentation. There's a whole bunch of people in a black box theater, and I couldn't remember all of the jokes that I was supposed to say. And so I just started telling stories. And people like, "Oh, the story." I was just like making those like, stories that was sort of in my head. I started telling stories about stuff, and
Good for
people like,
you.
"Oh yeah, that was great." And it was like, and when you said that one, remember when you said that one thing? I was like, "Well, what did I say?" I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember what I was saying.
You
Uh,
were in the moment.
yeah, comedy
Just survive
is
it.
is hard to me. It's such a hard discipline to do. You know,
It
right?
is a lot of things going on. You got people looking at you, you got their response, you gotta respond in real time to their response and
Yeah,
keep going, right?
right.
So,
Right. It's writing for comedy and doing comedy is way harder than people think. I took an improv class many years ago, and the improv person said I was good at comedy because I was improvising it. But when they said to actually write or conceptualize what I was going to do, I was like, I don't know.
yeah,
Just give me the prompt, and I'll just do something.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Because
comedy. When it comes to being creative, for me, uh, comedy is the hardest. Writing love type things is really, really hard because I get really emotional when I'm doing it. And if I get emotional about it, then I got something. If I don't feel it, like I gotta feel the emotions of the, the love situation. And it's hard. It's harder probably than anything else because people can easily pick up when you're writing something that's inauthentic when it comes to romance. So you gotta be really on it when you're writing that. And the one that I abhor and hate the most, and one day I need to write a story just to get this out of my system, is horror.
mm,
I
mm,
just gotta get out my system just so for me to stop saying I don't like it. So I just gotta get it out.
mm,
I just get it out and write something. You know. So we were going to talk about a couple of things here that we didn't get a chance to, but like there was the Bronze Lens Festival recently.
yes.
I know I knew some people there. Did you know some people that attended that, or you have any thoughts about that?
Uh, no, I bought tickets, but my friend got COVID and I did not go. No,
You were
but
planning on.
right, I bought ticket to go one day, but now I'm very excited that they are now, that's the Materials Academy Award qualified, which is humongous.
That's fantastic. It is. It is. The other thing we were going to talk about is obviously I'm involved with the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. We had a magical session here recently at Spelman College where we had people from all, we had actually some celebrities who came and attended. They didn't give me permission to start saying their names, so I won't. But it was so cool. I've been around and working involved with that group for 7 years now, Portia. Time has gone by really, really fast. And when I was talking about creating that stuff for theater, I've created this solution thing to help Black theater specifically for us to work together and connect the dots. There are so many fantastic festivals that happen all over the country. And as you know, theater and film are connected. And I think for a time, there's always this way like, let's connect them or decouple them from each other, and that's not true. Or it shouldn't be that way. Do you have anything you want to ask me? You're like the only guest, one of the only guests that I can always ever have where I say, Portia, ask me anything that's on your mind. Some other guests I may not do that. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I wanna know what's going on with the family,
Superior? Oh gosh, I'm
yeah,
so this. I
because that's a film.
I am so excited about this. So I've been debating recently because I've got enough for the whole novel and I've got a screenplay for it. And I was saying, should I release this in the series format just to help get do like a GoFundMe thing to help me grow even funds for it? So, for example, I looked at this all Amazon had their platform. I don't think their platform exists anymore, where you could serialize your fiction in it. But there are other platforms. I said maybe I should do that. Maybe that'll help get momentum for it instead of just throwing it out there. Since I've been doing it for a long period of time, but it's ready to go. I've done some things in the background. I've actually created some. I've created a 1 minute trailer for it, as if it's a movie. And guess what? I used to do that.
Which one?
Between Kling and VEO and VEO from Google and a little bit of GPT in there. I think people think the people understand about AI is they think they got to say you can only use one to get your result. It's not true. If you start to think about it, use multiple results to get the thing that you want. And here's one part of this trailer that was so cool that I'll be sharing for
Mm, yay.
is that I took some of the artwork that I drew when I was 20 some odd years old when I was first thinking about this story. I actually
Okay.
drew this big splash page. For those who know comic books, you start off every comic book page with a big splash page, one big image. And I had the tool take it and make it animated. The
Mm,
actual thing that I drew when I was 20 some odd years old. And made motion of the same thing that I drew from
right.
20 years ago. I was like, 20 when I was 20 years old. That wasn't 20 years ago. When I was
Okay.
20 some odd years
Mm,
old. Isn't that cool? That's like a cool thing. Cool, cool, cool
yeah,
thing.
yeah, I've
You
seen it.
are such an advocate for me to make sure that I get this thing going. Sometimes I feel like you're the only person I talk to about it. I'm serious, and the people who are listening to this podcast, obviously. But, you know, uh, because it's one of those things that when you do it, and someone said to me like, "Oh, since you've had it for so long, maybe you shouldn't do it." I was like, "I don't know. I think God tells you when things are the right time for stuff to happen." I
Yeah,
said, sometimes you write a story, and the story it's not its time for the story. It's not. I've written many plays, and I sit on them. I was like, today is not the day for this thing. It's not the right thing. Last year, when I had a lyrics premiere at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival, that was
mhm,
the right time for that story. It just
right.
was, even though it's sitting around for a while. Uh, that to me, and I think this is the year for that. And the other thing that I'm going to ask your help, and I'm not going to tell the people here on the podcast world. So thank you for joining the Courageous Creativity Show and the Fearless Productivity Show. Please stay tuned and please be part of this because Portia, I'm going to need your help because I have another thing that's coming out this year. And it is my first foray, two things coming out. One is a short story. I will not say it here because I want everyone to get excited. Go to my website so you can become part of the member so you can see it. And the other one's a nonfiction book. And the nonfiction book is really related to my journey. This year, October 25th, will make 5 years since my diagnosis with multiple sclerosis. And in that 5 years, I've learned a lot, not just about the disease, not just about the disease, but about all of the multiple and neurological things that are happening to so many people in the world. There are way more things happening to people in the world, but also what I've learned as a person. There's a lot of lessons that I've learned, and I didn't. If I didn't get multiple sclerosis, I might not have thought about putting them together into one thing.
Mm,
I might have just been like, "Yeah, here, let me just share this, and let me just share that," piecemeal to people. I put it together, and I think I might need your help with this. I know you just said, "Hey, I'm not doing any more audiobooks for people." I may need your help with this.
Yeah, my mother has MS, for 20 years now, so I think I've told you that. So
Yes,
definitely a subject close to my heart, or because I watch her suffer. The MS takes so many different forms in every person, right?
it's a
Just
it's a
fascinating.
it's a snowflake for every single person. Like, right? You never see the same kind of
Yeah,
snowflake. It's a fingerprint. It's different for everybody. And what the one thing that I'm just trying to help people understand, because when they see me, they go, "Hey, you look all right. Everything looks good. What you mean you got MS? Hey, what's the thing?" When you have the MS and you have the lesions on your spine and in your brain, which are part of MS, your brain is trying to rewire itself every day so you can do basic things. So whether that's walk or think or any biological function, all of that stuff is rewiring. And that people, when someone has MS or any neurological things and say they have fatigue, that's the fatigue. Not because I'm running 33 miles, it's because my brain is constantly got straight new wires over the lesions for me to do basic stuff. And that's what creates fatigue. It's a different kind of fatigue than anyone knows about. So
hmm
you'll see that in that book. And thank you so much for asking.
hmm
I tell you, I've learned there's a lot of people that have stuff. I quite I know we've talked about a lot of things that are really on the political or borderline political, but one of the things I think is a true thing is I think a lot of stuff that we have here, food wise, air wise, water wise, are killing us. I do, whether it's ultra processed food or it's some of the even the liquids that we drink. Even some of our fruit is laden with pesticides. It's like, why do we have so many of these things that are and people say, "Oh, hey, let's have a trace amount of this, a trace amount of that." But over a period of time, if you have trace amounts of a whole bunch of stuff, it don't become a trace amount anymore.
It's amazing that you're saying that. That has been something. That exact message has been just just randomly living in my head because I was like, I get it. One company, the toothpaste says it's a little bit of this, but it's harmless. The pesticide is a little bit of this, but it's harmless. It's food coloring, but it's harmless. And I'm picturing our body. Like I wish I could do an AI. I wish I was the kind of like a just could kind of make these images because I want to show these companies little teaspoon harmless, harmless, and the whole human body is filled with toxins. Why do they keep getting diseases?
Yeah,
Everyone's laden with diseases. Why do the children in America have so many diseases?
like, why is that? I don't know, and some people will feel offended by this, but even when they're growing things in the farms now, they're throwing chemicals on the things when they're growing it on the farms. And then they take an ear of corn, and then they put stuff in order for the corn to look yellow, they put stuff on it to make it like I was like, "Why is this everywhere?" Even the bloody bottled waters, if you buy a bottled water at the airport or something like that, that's got PFAS and microplastics in it. Even the
And so does
pills
your fountain.
that's right. Even the pills that I take, those that have micro traces of freaking microplastics in it. Damn. Like
I
what?
know.
I say this to say it's killing us, but we've got longer life expectancy than we probably ever had at the same time.
Isn't that weird? Well, that's well, actually they say if you can make it to the next 10 years, you can potentially live forever. And I literally, because we're gonna have the technology, I'm like, I ain't living this bitch forever. I'm out, out. Peace, Portia, out. Give me, I'm here. 50, I'm here to serve for 50 more years, and I'm out.
you know, uh, there was a study that I read somewhere that if we were born 150 years ago, everyone died when they were around 40 some odd years ago, on average. There were some people who were living longer. But now we're close to 80 and over 80. My mom turned 89 years old a few weeks ago. And,
Nice,
and so,
congratulations.
and so, and she's healthy. I mean, she's healthier than I.
Ooh,
she's, she's
yes,
just
Lord.
she's just great. She gets up and walks outside and goes places every single day. She takes what her mother did. Her mother walked up and down the mountains of Jamaica. She just walks up and down the streets of New York in the town that I grew up in every single day. And that's
I
what
got chills running over me. And see, but that brings me to why I like to meditate at night because there's meditations that cleanse the body. I mean, frequencies that supposedly heal your cells. Just try to do anything that you can to, because there is a power. We do have the power to self heal ourselves,
Oh, yeah.
right? We do, but how do you access that and all those things? And there are certain protocols that you can do to get rid of cancer. There are things you can do to kill cancer cells that are not chemotherapy and things like that. But it's a
We
lot.
need to talk more about this. So you're gonna need to come back on another episode sooner than later because we need to keep talking about this because I believe you. I believe that there are our bodies, our cells themselves can get rid of cancer. However, if we keep putting things on top of it, that are cancerous, then they don't have a chance to eliminate it for us.
Yes.
And so hence since we are actually fueling a lot of times the things that are hurting us.
Yeah.
So I read somewhere that if we eat certain things, it might take a day. If I eat a certain kind of thing, it might take a couple of days for it. The one thing I ate today, if I ate a certain kind of thing, maybe it's a piece of meat, for example, it might take a couple of days for it to fully exhaust the one piece of meat to exhaust itself from my body. And if I keep eating meat all the time, then I g and the meat's got whatever's got in it that's fueling the bad things inside of me, and it's just sitting in my gut forever, then it's not digesting appropriately, and next thing you know, my cells don't get a chance to heal because I keep putting crap in it that doesn't allow it to do what it's supposed to do. I
Hmm.
I am in no way I am no way qualified to be talking about anything I just said. This is it's just my opinion.
It's your opinion, right? Okay, yeah, yeah. And I mean, I just discovered the other day that fasting, 5 days of fasting, resets your immune system.
I heard the
After the
same
third
thing.
day, your immune system resets. I haven't done it yet, and I can do it. I'm not. I'm the kind of person who can go a whole day without eating. I just can with no problem.
I
Oh,
can do an 18 hours, and I actually feel better at the 18-hour mark than I do like, 'cause all of a sudden I get clarity, and
mhm.
then something gnaws at me and says, "I gotta eat something," and then I eat something, and I don't feel the clarity anymore. But if I get to that 18-hour mark, feels like, "Oh gosh," just like my awareness of things changes slightly.
Is that's the actual real thing. So yeah, fasting. I mean, let's add that to the F's. Fasting.
It's number
Okay,
6.
and finances. Let's do 7. Okay,
7.
7. All right. But yeah, hot. Um,
How can people get in contact with you, Portia, if they wish to?
Go to my website, portiacue.com,
Yeah,
and I'm there. I'm on social media, Portia Cue. I'm just Portia Cue everywhere.
that's awesome. Portia, I will be talking to you more about you coming back. I want you, if you're okay, to be a regular guest on the Courageous Creativity Show because you've got a lot to share with lots of people. And I
My pleasure.
genuinely love talking with you.
Likewise, Winston. We
Thank
don't
you,
talk
everyone
about
that's out there. Please make sure that you are creative. Make sure that if you have an obstacle inside of your life, make sure that you know I'm gonna take one piece today, and I'm going to one step today towards that. If you do that, then you will find yourself on that creative path because there's lots of things that are telling you to not be creative, but your spirit, cannot be denied. So thank you for being part of the Courageous Creativity Show. Thank you so much, Portia, for returning. We look forward to having you back again. Take care.
it.